Yo,
Peace,
yo,
world. What's up, y'all? Plot in progress. We back at you with another episode. You be anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us, so we appreciate your viewership, your comments, your feedback. Greatly appreciated. Please keep that coming so we can enhance what we're doing here. Got the good brothers with me tonight, Growth Spot Squad,
What up?
and we got another interesting episode for you tonight. We do have a guest that's going to join us shortly, but before we do that, well, you want to get into the bars first, or you want to wait till Bridget comes on?
Let's wait till our guests come on.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, bet. So let's
Yep.
get into the recap of the previous episode, which was episode number 42 with the good brother Najee Fire, and he was dropping hot fire throughout that whole episode. What did y'all think about that? Any highlights, reflections on that conversation in particular?
The thing that stood out to me, man, was like when Bilal was asking him about like his system of self-improvement. And I just see how like a lot of people who was living off the land, how they're more in tune with the nature, with the nature of us as indigenous and original people that I have studied, right? And some of the things that he was talking about was, how he's a student of life and he doesn't limit himself to any type of studies, but he also also emphasized he focuses on love. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, things that we should all be doing, but because we like in this concrete jungle and the hustle and bustle of the matrix, we don't allow ourselves to be in tune with nature like that. So I just noticed how like a lot of people who is living free or more so of the way that we want to live, they're more human. You understand what I'm saying? And just it was certain things that he was saying that just resonated, like when he was talking about how, you know, it's in our nature to reproduce, right? That's in our basic nature. And he's talking about how titles like father and grandfather, those are titles that are valuable versus like a CEO or something of that nature that deals with, being a boss or, capitalism and whatnot. And I was just thinking to myself one time when DeLon was speaking about how we're not at the top of any fields in society. You know what I'm saying? But like monopolizing a type of field in society does not impress me. Are you a good person? Are you a good human being? Like, what about teaching people? What about saving lives? Does that matter? You know what I'm saying? So I really love, a lot of things that he was saying, but, we could pass it around the board and like, I want to see what y'all took away from that episode.
yeah, man. So for me, man, in addition to the love aspect of it, was about the building with family, man. So I thought it was very interesting that one of the first things that he mentioned was about building with his family, and I think, I think we've got to really just get tapped into that because a lot of people, a lot of times, the father, the title of father, right, is considered to be the breadwinner, but that comes along with a lot of different things, right? When you think about having to go out there and get it right, you normally associate the father with being out of the household or not necessarily building with the family, but bringing everything back to the family, if that makes sense. And so I thought it was very interesting with how he was talking about how getting his entire family involved in that process, and just even the journey that led to getting him there, man. Like for the fact that his when his mother was alive, he didn't really touch the land. You know what I mean? Like he was like, I didn't really understand the value of what I had, but once she passed that legacy down and he actually got up there and saw it, man, he fell in love with it. So that's what stood out to me was that building with family, man, for sure.
Y'all brothers is deep. And what stood out to me the most was when he was talking about them bears. Them bears coming on the land and the property, and how they pretty much just like coming to look for food. But he was saying like if you happen to like kill one, how it's worse. It could be like a worse situation for you, bring in way more pests and insects and just different things that'll ruin the land, which actually kind of goes back to some of the stuff we was talking about, just both of y'all, just about nature and getting back to the land and respecting the land and respecting the creation and so forth. So I thought that was interesting as well, because most of the time you're gonna hear people be like, yeah, if they come on my land, it's a rap form and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But he gave a different perspective, and I appreciate that. The whole episode was fire.
Yeah.
Like the name, you feel me?
Yo, peace. I see our guest is up in the building.
Peace and blessings.
Peace, Queen. Yo, we got a real special guest tonight. She's an icon, a legend in the AZ community. You know what I'm saying? Bridget Pettis, East Chicagoan, Indiana native, a renowned former WNBA player and coach. Welcome, sis. How you doing? I think you're muted.
I said, peace. Thank you so much, all you kings on here. This is an honor to be here. I'm doing very good. Thank you.
Right on. It took a while to get you on here, sis.
No, I've been on my move. I've been.
And I went up to for the people listening, I went up to her brick and mortar to Strong Armor and to coming on the show, and she bounced on me because she was being honored at a Phoenix Suns game. But sis, before we get into this discussion, we have this segment of our show. It's called Spit Them Bars, in which we spit revolutionary type bars that align with what we do, and we give the guests the first opportunity to try to guess what those bars come from. And I just want to know real quick: do you consider yourself a hip hop head?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I kind of fell off with the generation that's around right now. But
We're
yeah.
gonna test you right here. So the way these bars go is,
Oh Lord.
here we go. Somebody got to get this. Let my cash invest in stock. Came a long way from blasting text on blocks. Went
Oh,
from, huh?
dang, I don't know that
Went
one.
from Seiko to Rolex to owning acres. From the projects with no chips to large cake dough. Dimes giving filet show. See at zeros. Bet my nine spit for the pesos. But what it's all worth, can't take it with you under this earth. Which rich men died and tried, but none of it worked. They just rob your grave. I'd rather be alive and paid before my numbers call history's made. Some will fall, but I rise, thug or die, making choices that determine my future under the sky. To rob, steal, or kill, I'm wondering why it's a dirty game. Is any man worthy of fame? Much success to you, even if you wish me the opposite.
Mm.
Sooner or later, we'll all see who the prophet is.
Oh,
Come on, I know somebody know
who
that.
is that? Who is that?
Take
I'm gonna
one
let
guess,
I'm gonna let the guests take a stab at it.
just anything.
Tupac.
Close.
Well, Nas.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasir Jones.
Nas.
How about which album is that off of? Because as I was listening to it, I was like, man, which album is that off of?
I am.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
That's
I actually didn't know that song, but that cadence, those choice of words, I knew it
Yeah,
was Nas. You feel me?
that's
yeah.
Nas's Light, right?
Yep. Nas
Yeah,
is like,
yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All
yo,
right.
so
I'm
let's get
looking.
right into this. Just recently, we can just start with the most recent. You just had a basketball camp that you do annually that wrapped up. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm on year 5 with my foundation, and started doing spring break basketball camps here in South Phoenix on South Phoenix spring break specifically. And I've started the farm about 5 years ago as well. And my whole focus was to get that food into the kids in our community. And just using the gift that I've been given through the avenue of sports. I'm not specifically pushing sports, but I'm using sports as a tool because our community, our kids, everybody. I mean, I asked them in camp today who want to go to the NBA, who want to go to the WNBA. It was probably over 70% of the children. And I'm like, this is only a 1% in the world experience. So our kids are being fed sports in a major way, but I don't know if I could stop that way, but I'm like, you can use that as a tool to, as a tool, a school to educate our kids on so many things. And my main focus is one, developing skill set. They go in there, it doesn't matter if you don't play basketball, you're going to be able to develop a skill set. You're going to be able to see you can dribble the basketball, you can do these things, you can make a right hand layup, left hand. These simple things let a child know that, wow, I wasn't able to do it, and now I'm able to do it. It's clearly evident that I put some time, some energy, and focus into it. I challenged myself this week. I pushed. I didn't. I would normally be at home sitting down. I asked the kids what they would be doing. This is what they would be doing, and they decided to commit to 5 days of challenging themselves mentally, uh, being able to meet other kids, using the sport that they love to get better, just get better, to eat better. We asked them to commit them personally to eating better this week. I'm going to feed you the best plant-based meal that come out of this, that I could create out of this garden. And you all take a risk and try something new, learn your taste buds, try different fruit, just expand yourself. This is a well well beyond opportunity. It's a blessing to have this and to take full advantage of it, and to also implement meditation, just having moments of stillness. We use our energy, and how often do we practice being still? And we committed to that for 5 days, and you just saw children just readjust, reignite. I made sure they got outside in the sun. We just want to make sure that we get our community the role that we play. And especially myself, I don't have children, so I've always been an aunt, and I know that's my role. My role is to be an aunt to my family, but be an aunt to the young youth that are around us. And it's the way I got to where I was going. So many people have poured into me, and just to make that available to our community is what I've been really focused on.
Right. And of course, we mostly know you for basketball. How did you transition from that? Because you mentioned a farm earlier. How did you
Mhm.
transition from that to, being
Yeah.
in the agricultural field? Was it something that you were always involved with as a youth, or did you come into that at a later date?
I mean, I think the blessing about basketball was that I got to do something that I loved. And after there's an end to it physically, I always play basketball. I keep a ball in my car. You can play forever, but there's certain levels that there's an end to. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, hey, I stick to the love of the game, which I love. I could shoot ball anytime. I could go out and shoot. The transition to not be in that world was different for sure. Readjusting myself to just being a basketball player, and finding another connection that's true to me. And the Most High, He led me in the right place. And the love of the land is for everyone. That's just who we are. That's our first womb. That's the first womb. We were birthed from it, and it's our truest resource. And I'm just grateful to have that connection, to help people to be able to reconnect to it, because it makes sense to everybody. It's just you got to get back outside, you got to be active again, you got to readjust life to I always say I live outside, I don't live inside. I sleep inside. So, just readjusting our lives to these just four walls that we in, to a more grounded and earthly environment. That's not hard to adjust to if we want to.
Mm, that's peace. Before I pass it to my brothers, can you talk a little bit about Project Roots? Is that still an active thing?
Yeah. Well, Project Roots, I'm not really, I'm
You
still the
started that,
co-founder. Yeah, I started it up. I'm not real. I'm still the co-founder of it, but I don't operate it. I'm more with the Bridget Pettis Foundation, which took over the farm, and I wanted to stay with the land part and just bringing the community in, learning how to grow, giving the community opportunities to grow. We have over 3 schools that are part sharing land with us. We have volunteer days once a month, and Miss B's Garden Market uses most of the produce to create healthy meals to get out to the kids or the senior citizens, and also at my storefront up in North Phoenix.
Okay. Eventually, we would like to find out, what are the specific juices that you use and whatnot, because we can grow that on our land, and we can
Mhm.
just work together. You know what I'm saying?
Well, whatever grows best in our land, the most I would say water water tolerable fruit that we can.
Mhm.
The citrus for sure, all the oranges and lemons and grapefruit you all could grow, um, which is sustainable, I feel like. And then the passion fruits and things like that, definitely something that can be grown out on your land, and more berries and fruits that I guess once you all get more trees, you can start creating that eco environment where it can find the right temperature, where it's just really this forest is growing itself. That's what we're all trying to do.
Indeed, indeed.
Indeed, and
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier about the youth as well. You mentioned just the being able to support the schools. I know right now we're facing some challenges as it relates to the funding for school meals and things like that. So talk a little bit more about from a farming perspective, um,
Mhm.
why is that important?
Well, man, the kids that is their we won't be able to educate if our children are eating correctly. So we won't even be able to teach our children if their nervous system is off, their nutrition level is off, their immune system is weak. Just even physically, the boys won't even have the strength to tap into their inner strength, just their strength itself. And what you're seeing today, you're seeing boys that are just very mild mannered. They barely ever use any of their muscles, any of their resistance. It's just to just create these neutral children. And we have to readjust that. We have to take we have to take our children back. I've always been about, hey, we have to teach our kids. You don't want them to teach our children. We want to teach our own children. And even this issue with gender dysphoria, I think I really tackled it in the camp this year too, just giving the kids, the boys, mantras. I am a boy and one day I'll be a man. The girls mantras, I am a girl and one day I'll be a woman. No matter what I think, no matter what I feel, this is the truth. And that's education. That's the battle. I'm not gonna battle what you say, the system believe they want to educate. We just want to tell the kids the truth. And then at such a young age, they know that it's the seed is planted, it's well, it's in the heart, it's true. Even if something come up, even if an idea, if something tempts you, you grounded. You've been saturated in the truth, and it takes so many people to make that truth be confirmed. And
Yeah,
that's what a community does.
I definitely agree, and more power to you in regards to that mission that you on, and respect for you keeping the agenda true as well, because I know we're up against so much.
Yeah.
I think my children, well, my oldest, she went through public school, and my youngest is also still in public school. But I still do as much teaching at home as possible, and I send her to school with her own meals. So I try to control as much as possible, um, due to what we're up against. But I do want to just mention is take it back to basketball just a little bit. So my wife actually put me up on game about who you are One time we seen you in the community and she was like, "You don't know who that is? Like, that's my favorite basketball player. I got her jersey and everything." So from that point on, I've been really intrigued about you. Did my own research and I even came out to the spaces with you a couple of times. We brought
Mhm.
our old mentorship group out there and we did some harvesting with you as well. But I want to say
Right.
in regards to like the diet, when you were playing basketball in the WNBA, how was your diet then? Was it similar to what it is now, or did you grow into
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I definitely always grew into it. The gift about being a professional athlete, you kept the stages kept going, and the maturity was always to have the edge. So the edge was always the one who took care of their body. One, you do the work and you take care of your body. Who's taking care? That's why LeBron continues to separate himself from people, is because you can hate him all you want, but he's out there doing the work and, and he takes care of his body. That's what an athlete does. He's not really focused on if people like him or not like him. This is his own journey, his commitment. He's going to look back and be like, I did the work. I did the work for me. I had a dream. I was trying to reach these places. And yeah, this right here, the body is the first tool, the ball is the second tool, you know what I mean? Well, the mind is the first tool, then the body and then the ball, but you have to care for this body. And as I got older, I knew the real stuff was making it better and
Come on.
staying hydrated. You'll see athletes start drinking juices. I started meditation and stretching and things like that. Like the care of your body separates you, because who gonna do the work? Not like greatness is for everybody. Go do the work. Who wanna do it? Not not everybody signing up to do the work. So um food is something that everybody can do. We just got to shift our ways. I'm always sharing with my mother, it's a farm right around the corner, even though she goes to the grocery store. It's a farm right around the corner,
Mm.
even though we keep going to the grocery store. So you have to shift, just change the ways.
Right.
So I have a question about the Bridget Pettis Foundation and the vision. I want to take it to basketball again as well. At one point in my life, I dedicated a lot of my time to basketball as well. And something that I clearly remember is, like you said, working on the skills day at a time, right, brick by brick. And for instance, one of the big milestones when you're playing basketball is when you actually get confidence in your offhand. That's like, oh, okay, like you unlock a new power, and it's like another level of competition that you're able to kind of, assert yourself in. And that reinvigorates your confidence. And it also, in my mind, it kind of clarifies like the vision of where you're going. It reaffirms your presence when you're on the court.
Mhm.
In regard to your current capacity and the mission of your foundation, what do those milestones look like for your foundation now? The ones that you've either attained or the ones that you're shooting for?
Mhm. Well, one, and the foundation got established in where I started with in the community with the kids, the camps, and the farm itself. I would definitely say I'm rooted in that gardening aspect right there. Uh, Making sure that we provide food in our community in South Phoenix and be a part of that we're co-opting in that experience, education wise, and with the produce itself. And that has been going for 5 years as well. And to make that expand in some way, I know it's expanding, I don't just to make it expand. But the storefront has been the biggest expansion to be able to get the food out in the community. People don't know what to do with farm food, what to do with real food. Not everybody know how to cook, and that's a part of it as well, to expand the educational piece. During this camp this year, I got to use quite a few of the youth in teaching them and preparing food, making smoothies, and just education itself on things to do with food, to the opportunities that are there, and making it sustainable, making a sustainable foundation. You know, Bridget won't be around long, so I just pray I leave a good name and and also a good foundation to know what it is that can continue to grow a sustainable just community around that food, that land.
So
Well, I will assure you that being who you are and what people already know you for in this, current effort that you're involved in, I always say that like the greatest way you can honor somebody is to continue to work. So it's clear that your life's work has been impressionable in many ways, and just considering all the different community activities and initiatives that you've been involved in addition to your basketball career, I'm very confident that those sort of efforts are going to carry on and inspire others like ourselves to continue doing what we're doing to add on. So I just want to express gratitude to you as well. And it's always amazing to see people transition into other spaces that may be foreign to what people typically would associate them with, and to see them succeed in other areas. It often emphasizes like the core principles that those individuals stand on. And I think your life is another example of that.
Oh, well, I appreciate that for sure. Thank you. I mean, I'm we all know we have our own inner callings, our own truths that we wanna fulfill, our own goals, and I'm just built that way. I'm grateful. I come from where my father is a steel worker, and we were seven kids, and we all lived in the one bedroom. But I also came from a village, and my brothers were raised to protect me, and I had light feet on earth. I didn't fear nothing because I had kings around me, and they were raised that way. And that's something that I feel like we need to get back to. It's true that the man needs to dominate our community again in love and
yeah,
take control. My father, he was the head of the house, and he raised us to at least, even if we went astray, we would become prodigal children and come back home. And the home was always there, and it was always prepared to come back home. And that's something just as strong as the land is, the father and the home is.
Man,
that's powerful. That's very powerful.
That's a bar.
Yeah, indeed, indeed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Bars.
You mentioned just the farm itself. So tell us a little bit more about the farm itself. How many acres do you have? What are some of the primary crops that you have? And then more importantly, what are some of the community partners that you have as well that help to make it the space that it is?
Yeah, well, I'm partnered up in Spaces of Opportunity. It's a 20-acre farm in itself, so it's divided with over 40 to 50 farmers or gardeners. I hold a half-acre space. We are in the process of creating a food forest within that half space. The Boy Scouts have put a pergola there to shade part of it. We've planted quite a few native trees. We grow seasonal crops. So like the summertime, the heat is coming. I grow a lot of watermelon. I grow a lot of herbs, definitely for the meals. We grow tomatoes. We grow, just seasonal, a lot of seasonal what we can. And we also have two water tanks, so that has helped us. When I first got there, I didn't know what I was doing. I put one water tank on the other side, the other. I thought I was making my living room. So, so I had to learn so much and get things reshifted. And it's just been an educational experience for sure. But I can have a young college student come out there now, and a young person, and I can share with them, and they can see the ability of having a $4,000 business off of a half acre piece of land. So these are the things that you would need. We had to develop the irrigation system for that to happen. And but you got to do the work, and it's a labor of love, and it definitely continues to grow on you. And it's seasonal. Sometimes we shut our farm down in the summertime. The heat's so hard, we don't have that. But you can make that back up in the fall time if you're preparing yourself for the winter, getting maybe that's with a simple crop like onions or garlic or something like that when
Mm-hmm.
the winter comes, and those are high yielding crops. So, it's just different ways we try to approach it. We are volunteer based mainly. I do have a farmer out there, Lorena. She's well known in the community. She's with Low Seeds and Good Deeds. She raises chickens. So we get her eggs, we put her
Come on.
eggs in the market. We collaborate in that kind of way. There's been a few people we've collaborated with, the Steve Young Foundation. Remember Steve Young, the quarterback,
Yes, yes.
49ers? Well, they've definitely helped us redo our irrigation system. So we've partnered with them every year. They're one of our big supporters. And just little, the community in itself, they always are showing up. We have a taste of the garden every fourth season. So we have one coming up for the spring, and we just give the community an experience to taste food that's coming out of the garden, to create that and ignite that. And I always speak over my food. I know I'm growing healing food.
Come
So
on.
I speak that, and I know it's doing more than just nourishment.
Well, and I think one of the most important things you mentioned is just get involved. I think that's one of the biggest keys when it comes to that. It says if a farmer waits for perfect weather, he'll never get a harvest. So,
Yeah,
get involved.
absolutely. Absolutely. Great. You come out there, trust me, I'm going to give you a shovel.
So when people want to volunteer, like excuse me, when are they? God damn, when can they volunteer and come up to the garden? Like when's
Yeah,
that?
every fourth Saturday we have volunteer day, and from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and myself and Lorena is out there. You just look for the Bridget Pettis Foundation, and they point everybody volunteering with different groups. So you can go to the online, my website, bridgetpettisfoundation.org, with all the events that's coming up. I have a real big mission to Zimbabwe, Africa this year. I haven't been to Africa yet, so I'm
Congratulations.
excited. Yeah, to go home. It's just really time and calling for me. So
Sure.
I'm making my mission there. I'm going to do WNBA All Star. Next week, I do a basketball camp back home in East Chicago. Then WNBA All Star in the summertime. I'm going to do a camp for the kids in Indianapolis. And then September, I'll be heading to Zimbabwe, Africa, to do a camp for after school basketball orphanage that's out there,
Wow.
and getting those kids some shoes and just pouring some love into our community. They're gonna be pouring love into me, because I've been on a mission for real about just being a
Come on.
whole human, and the woman that I
Important.
am. So just getting rooted. That's something that the land does. It makes you want to be
Indeed.
rooted in the right way, and I want to go home.
So how important is giving back to the land? Because I know oftentimes we get the stigma of always being a taker per se, but how important do you feel giving back is also to the land specifically?
Man, I mean, look at California. That's a clear example of that, a lack of giving back to the land. That's us not caring for the land. The natives before, who were the caretakers of that, they knew they had to keep that brush low. They knew that they had to be a part of caring for the land. And now the land has gone into a system and the government instead of just the people. And that's what you get. Those are some of the results naturally that comes from that. So I'm for the revolution. Get our land back, and Let's grow food. Let's teach our kids. Let's learn how to sew. Let's learn how to cook. Let's learn how to build. Let's learn how to grow. You know, let's read to each other. Let's let's read our books. Let's,
Indeed.
you know, just change it all.
Yeah, I think what's
Absolutely.
amazing about what you're saying is, I think those sort of collective initiatives, as far as like owning land, getting your hands dirty, learning agriculture, all of that, a lot of that I see as solutions to a lot of the issues that we're having with youth, with family in general, trust issues in the community. There's nothing like a laborious activity with your brother or sister where you actually need them to come through
Yeah.
and be dependable, show up with that shovel, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and put in that good sweat equity. And then I think there's something to, I don't know how to articulate this, but I think there's something to putting your hands in the soil, actually connecting with the earth in a way that most of us do not touch the actual earth on a daily basis, right? We insulate ourselves from that part of the world.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that there's ample opportunity for individuals in our community to come
Oh,
out and lend a hand and to get that experience and put their hands in the soil. There's no excuse, y'all.
Yeah.
Hit up Bridget Pettis Foundation. Look at that calendar. I'm sure she's got an extra shovel or two or three or five for you. So get out there and get to it, because that's really akin to like who we really are and our immediate ancestors, meaning like our grandfathers and
Yeah.
grandmothers. I mean, that was life. You know what I mean? And we're not far removed chronologically, but like as far as like our daily existence, that is very far removed from how we live today. And I think there's a lot of benefits to tapping back into that.
Yeah, yeah. It's the harmony. It's the true harmony maker. We tend to sometimes see ourselves as visiting nature. We are nature, and we gotta reconnect. Like we nature. We don't visit nature. Like we're the biggest threat to ourselves, to nature, but we're by getting back connected in the soil, we become more in harmony with it. You know, we become more in harmony with humanity and the truth. And Mother Earth is real. You know what I mean? She's real. She's alive. You can take your shoes off. She sends messages through your soles, through your feet, through your body. You know, it's good to stay connected to the earth. Go sleep on the land. Go camp again. Bring that, you know,
oh,
go let the sun sit on you. Don't run from going. You want to get black. It is black as hell. What you talking about?
indeed.
It's real. Look at the star.
You know?
Shoot. But Bridget, can you talk about Bees Marketplace and how long it's been open and the location?
Yeah, we up on 8900 North Central in Suite 103, 102. And Michelle Tucker, I don't know if you all know her. She's an entrepreneur out in the community. She does candles and business consultation. Her and I partnered up, and I took a suite. We sharing a suite in there, and I created a pop-up atmosphere where it's just healthy food that come out of the garden. We create meals from it. We have a commercial kitchen not too far where we're able to prepare the meals, and then we take it to the shop. We also have a cafe, a juice bar, smoothie bar, and you know, just food, healthy food ready to go. May I can whip it up a little bit. So
When are y'all open?
we open Wednesdays through Friday pop-ups, and then it'll eventually it'll be all weeks, but we just been slowly growing. It's our third going on our fourth month.
So is
Wow.
that like central and north or close to Dunlap?
Yep, it is Central and Dunlap, right behind
Okay.
Sunny Slope.
Right
Right
behind
across
Sunny.
the street from where you used to be at, below.
Yep, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's where you all used to be at?
Yeah, right over there in that area where we had a studio over there. Just maybe right across the street from where you're at, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you have at the market right now? Because I'm gonna come check you out. Not at this moment, right now, but Wednesday or sometime this week, I'll be down there because I just
Okay.
ate some fruit that we had in the refrigerator, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, this isn't what I would prefer, but let me go ahead and still knock it out because I'm breaking my fast.
Yeah.
And it was a
Okay.
peach, and it didn't have no flavor to it, nothing. I'm like, man, I gotta do better than this. So I gotta
Yeah.
come see you real soon.
Yeah, come check us out. We got a lot of citrus right now. Our
Oh,
peaches
perfect.
are growing. I got about 4 peach trees out there. Y'all got peaches? Y'all planting trees yet?
Not yet, but
Not
that is
yet.
on the
We
way.
need to.
It's on the
Okay.
agenda.
Okay. So yeah, I got 4. I got about 8 mulberry trees out there. That should
Okay.
be coming. So a couple of lemon, some dragon fruit. Yeah, I'm just give it to me. I'm gonna put it in the ground. So
I'll be by there.
Yeah.
I'm looking
I
forward to it. I'm getting hyped
awesome.
right now.
Yeah, so I'm open from 2 to 7, Wednesday through Friday. And then I do pop-ups on weekends. And I'll be at Botanical Garden this weekend, actually. They have an event there. So, yep.
Yeah, I really liked when you were talking about teaching the truth to the youth, right? And
hmm
how a boy is going to become a man, a girl is going to become a woman, and the WNBA has a stigma that a lot of
hmm
people talk about, and you coming up in that environment
hmm
as a basketball player, I know you shared me that you were misled on some things. Can
hmm
you speak about that experience and how you came out of that?
Yeah. Well, I definitely, being young, I grew up in that environment, not really knowing who I was. And I took on that word lesbian early in my life, and it was like I went on a journey. Like, what is this? Believing that it was a part of who I am and my thoughts and my feelings, and I just struggled with it back and forth, and I leaned into God's word and what was true. And that's where, like, I'm so grateful. I have a grandmother and who prayed, and and my mother and people that spoke truth into me. And that's where, when I went through all of my own transition, I understood I to rest on the truth.
Yeah.
And the truth set me free. It gave me back my mind back, my just who I am back. And yeah, I mean, we fed a lot of things, and you when you're young, you hear a lot of things, and you go exploring, but not everything, it's just not true. Everything is not true. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful I was able to get to a place to know that, to learn that. And I just want to help usher other kids into a place where you're going to hear it. This is the world that we in.
Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
devil is real. You're going to hear it. You're going to have your thoughts. You're still going to have feelings and all of that. But we want to rest. I want to pull out my pillow on truth, and I want
That's
to
right.
rest on that. And
Yeah. Peace.
that's where you have peace, and that's gonna matter, and that's what mattered to me. I was like, serious, I gotta get peace, and you'll
Mm,
do anything for it. And we just don't want to see our youth with suicide going up and all the confusion that's going on. Like, I'm telling you, you could speak truth into kids, and then it can stick. And that's what's important, is that we have educators that are giving our children a lot of options of things.
thank you.
Come on, man.
And we just want to speak truth into them, and that's where they can rest at. Just say it. That's what I say. At least say
That's
it.
it.
You tell your kid the truth,
That's
no
it.
matter what. Just tell your kid the truth. Tell them who they are, and they'll be able to fall back onto that.
That's it. Laws of nature don't lie. They
Yeah.
always exist. They may create legal fictions, but laws of nature always are there.
And so I'm
Oh,
just grateful. I'm grateful I got in a space where, to know myself. I wouldn't say the WNBA pushed me or encouraged me to that, but it is a world that is that door is open to people, and that's not the door for me.
Got it. Appreciate you for sharing that, sis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's powerful. Very powerful.
Yo,
Well, if nothing else, I do have I'm a basketball head, so I got to ask this question.
oh,
Um,
better not be bad.
I ain't gonna ask the question you think I'm gonna ask, True, but I mean, it is good to see the monumental season that the WNBA had,
Yeah.
but this previous season, it's come a long way. I've been watching the WNBA since the first season, 1997. I remember going to the games with my family, and it's always been just good to follow, interesting. And I want to know this because you've been involved in the league from the beginning, from the genesis, right? So removing yourself from the equation, give me your top three all-time WNBA players. Who you got?
Man.
Come on, come on. This is good. He gonna get you in trouble on this one.
And
Yeah, we got to
she
put a
ain't
little
even
trouble in there. We got to sprinkle a
she ain't
little
even
controversy.
playing, and she one of the top ones. She never even
Oh, really?
played. So I'm like Cheryl Miller. She the one.
Okay. Come on.
And she was y'all
But
coach, right?
she was our coach for sure,
Yep.
and that's how you
Man,
know she was the one because she was
indeed.
killing it. And yeah, but I would say that got to play in the WNBA for sure. I'm gonna give and people don't give her, maybe don't say her, but her game was it. Cynthia Cooper
All
Yes.
right. All right.
Yes.
Facts.
and Maya Moore
Good one.
Mhm.
and Diana Taurasi.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right. All
There
right.
you
Yeah,
go.
that's strong. That's strong.
That's very
That
strong.
yeah, that actually played. I'm gonna give it to them. So yeah. But yeah. Definitely Cheryl Miller. She got everybody.
come on.
I just saw her shoot around and I was like, oh, I think she might get us.
Used to serve race. Shoot. Man.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
but
cool.
of this new generation that's coming up, I think that man, I mean, Asia is a monster. I
Come
don't
on.
know. Asia Wilson is a monster.
Agreed.
Uh, Caitlin, she nice. I give her, she got some game, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to do way more,
Right.
for me.
Right.
Yeah, we
So
gotta see what that looks like in a few years down the line because
yeah,
what you doing right now, you got to be able to sustain and maintain that. So we got our eyes on you. We watching you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm like, you got to bring the dog. Let me see some rings or something, and then
Right.
I'm all for the love, but
Yeah. And we got another which I feel like, man, the sky is not even the limit for that young lady at USC right now.
Woo!
Juju.
Juju is a problem. So very
Yeah,
exciting time for the WNBA. So
Indeed it
I'm
is.
looking forward to that with like very high enthusiasm for sure.
yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about Juju. I'm starting my magazine Double Crossover.
Okay.
Yeah, I just started working on it. It's gonna be promoting a lot of issues within life, also basketball, spiritual, our youth, and just using that platform of a magazine. I'm more of a writer. I'm finishing up my autobiography on just my journey, and I'm be at grassroots finish
Oh,
making that
yeah.
happen.
Well, I mean, you're more than welcome to stay on, sis, when we do the updates because we got some real exciting updates that I think I would like for you to be a part of. You,
Okay,
you got those? Or?
yeah, I got you. I could be on.
Yep. So for sure. So first off, I want to talk about get it out the mud. So get it out the mud. We've got that. That's workshop is coming up. It's composting 101. That's coming up at the end of the month, the 30th. So it's going to be hosted at Heart and Soil Garden. Please, if you haven't already registered, go check us out. You can find us on the web at thegrowspot.org. And, you can go and register there. We have a link that's set up there. We've got the Legacy Camp, which is also another venture. This is the second annual Legacy Camp that's coming out. This is going to be May the 24th through 26th. Again, you can check us out, growspot.org/camp. That'll take you directly to the site to be able to get there. Man, it was a powerful, powerful experience that we had last year, just taking some young men out to the land to be able to camp. 3 days experience, camping out at Lambman Lake and just having a full blown on experience with the young men, teaching them really about manhood and about, giving them some tangible skills that they can apply to life, getting them out of this concrete jungle and out into nature, back to the root and soil, and then, man, we've got something super excited coming in October, which is Let's Get Free. It's all about land purchase. For us, we acquired 37.5 acres, and a lot of people, they want to know how we did it. And this workshop that we're designing called Let's Get Free is all about that. It's about how to acquire land without banks and without credit checks. So those are the announcements and the updates. And like I said, just check us out on social media as well. So you can find us on Instagram at the Growth Spot Squad. You can find us on YouTube at TGS Legacy, the Growth Spot Legacy. And then you can find us on Facebook at Legacy Growth Spot. So check us out, tune in, and just stay in tune with what we're doing. We're doing a lot for the community right now, and that's where the real key is at, is getting involved. And so again, much love to you, sister, for joining us. We greatly appreciate you for being on the Plotting Progress podcast. This has been episode number 43. So here at the Growth Spot, we are unified in action to build and protect and expand a fruitful legacy of love, equity, growth, ancestry, cooperation, and yield. By inspiring and educating on the practices of agriculture, self-care, nutrition, environmental stewardship, and entrepreneurship, we aim to cultivate a vibrant community that's rooted in resilience and sustainability. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you, guys. Peace. Blessings.